Hello, everyone. Oh, look, Epically just literally joined in. Well. This is Optimus Gene, a.k.a. Eugene Stevens. I am here on Epically Geeky Gaming. So, starting a little early today because I actually have a hard out today at 4 o'clock. I've got a rack of ribs going in. I've got to go get them to the next stage. So, anyway, that's why we're starting about a half hour early. But it is what it is. It should be a lot of fun. That gives us at least an hour and a half to play some Nintendo games. So with that said, I guess let's go ahead and jump right on into it. The first game that we're going to be playing today is Super Mario Bros. 3. Released May 1989. It sold 17 million copies worldwide. It introduced the Koopalings and the world map. And as I showed my boys not too long ago, it was also featured in The Wizard. Now, we haven't actually sat down and watched that movie. I kind of still want to sit down and watch that movie with them, even though I know they're going to be like, dude, this is so cringe. Let's see here. Super Mega Graphics 64 says, yo, yo, yo. And Luke's Awakening says, oi, oi, oi. I'm guessing that's how you say that. But yeah, so anyway, we're going to be playing Super Mario Bros. 3 before I jump into the game here. Like I've been doing the last several streams, I've been playing games that I own. And so once again, my OG copy of Super Mario Bros. 3 in really good condition. Once again, like if I could go back in time, I would I'm sure it was my mom, these cases were totally worth the money. Totally worth the money. Oh, this manual is falling apart because literally as I took it out, the back page just kind of fell out. So look, there's a place on the back page to do memos. So I guess you could write yourself notes. But yeah, there's the front page. Like I said, it's not in the best condition. The rest of it seems like it's in okay condition. Let's see here. Got how to do the controls. Just like with Super Mario Bros. 2, this is 100% in color because a lot of these older games just did not. They were just black and white. So it tells you how to do all the moves. It tells you what all the power ups and stuff are. It even tells you like everything that's in all of the different Toad houses and everything. Fantastic. Luke's Awakening, The Wizard is a great movie. I need to go back and watch it. I remember watching it and my mind was blown. I mean, people want to talk about how cartoons in the 80s were basically just a half-hour commercial for toys. There are some of them out there that I think were much more than just that. There are some of them out there that I look at and I'm just like, yeah, this was totally just a commercial to sell the toy. This was an hour and a half. I think it's an hour and a half movie. This is an hour and a half commercial for Super Mario Bros. 3, even though it only appears at the very end of this movie. I guess you could say it's an hour and a half commercial for Nintendo. But when everyone I knew wanted to go see this movie just because they wanted to see Super Mario Bros. 3. It was so hyped. It was so big. And I'll be honest with you. I think this may be my favorite Super Mario Brothers. I love Super Mario World. You might say that was the epitome of the 2D Super Mario games. And I'm not going to argue that. If that's your opinion, fine. If you have information that could go along with it to back up that opinion, I'm not going to argue that either. But I feel like this is the peak of Super Mario Brothers 2D games. Yes, I love Yoshi. Writing Yoshi is freaking awesome. But man, the power-ups in this game, it was so good. That's just completely, I've just got a big blanket of a nostalgia on right now thinking about this game. But yeah, I freaking love this game. Let's see, Epic Lion, the cell service is so cheeks at Bubba's. I'm watching this in 144p. So my boys are currently with my mom right now. They went and helped her put up Christmas decorations, and she's taking him out for a late lunch. Normally, I would be like, you're having lunch at 2:30 in the afternoon? They're teenage boys. They eat all the time. We constantly hear them up, especially on the weekends, hear them at like 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, like warming up pizza, warming up whatever to eat. I remember those days, but as an almost 50-year-old, like it gives me indigestion just thinking about it. Born Distracted. Hey, what's going on, man? I wonder how well Eugene will do in this game. I don't know. It's been. I'm not going to use rewind because it's not like I'm like, really trying to play or whatever or get achievements. But I love this game, and hopefully, as long as my controller has got fairly decent, fairly decent control to it, I'll do okay. So we'll see. I did not mean to put that at the start. Not sure what you meant by that, Epically. Luke's Awakening commercial for Super Mario Bros. 3 and the Power Glove. Yes, no, definitely. That was also a commercial for the Power Glove. Totally. Super Mario Bros. 3 is peak NES. I would definitely agree to that statement, Sai. I think of all the games on the NES, this is definitely the peak version, the peak game for it. So, all right. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get started here. And away we go. I don't know why it takes it so long to move over. Born Distracted. I like the colors and box art. The box art is very simple. It's very iconic as well. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've seen people do that box art and do something else with it. Like, I almost played around with the idea of doing a shirt for myself, redoing Mario, kind of like I have on the Be Kind Rewind shirt I did that's on our store. I almost did just the whole Super Mario Brothers 3 logo and, for that. So that may have been a pretty good idea. We'll have to see how that goes. So, all right, let's get started here. Ba-ding. Luke's Awakening. Superman 64 is a better game. You know what? Luke, you are always welcome to your opinion. I'm never going to say that your opinion is wrong. I would say I disagree with that. I prefer this game over Superman 64. Funny story about Superman 64. While I was at what is it called? Classic Game Fest. One of my members, he's literally he's not. He's probably the second youngest member of our group. He went and bought a copy of Superman 64. I'm like, why did you buy that? And he's like, I've always wanted a copy of it. And I'm like, okay, dude. And so this was on Saturday. He came back for Sunday because most of these cons... Actually, that con is a 3-day con. And he came back the next day. He's like, well, I played it. And I was like, so what'd you think? He goes, why did I buy that game? I'm like, dude, did you think the internet was lying to you? Oh, I didn't quite jump fast enough. Oh, well, it's all good. Oh, I died on the first level. Wow. Not a good start. Not a good start. Try this again. Maybe I was just warming up. I mean, this is the first game I'm playing today, so. I remember when I had friends that always, when they first realized that on this game, that if you, depending on which side of the block you hit, like if you're on closer on the left side, whatever it is in the block jumps out the right side, and it always messed some of them up the first time. Because I guess they just naturally hit it on the left side, so it always came out on the right, and it never failed that one time they really needed that power up. There we go. And it jumped out on the other side, and they're like, wait a minute, where's it going? So. God, this is iconic music. Now, we were talking the other day, actually it was yesterday when we were playing Super Mario Bros. 2. I want to say, Luke, I think it was you that said that you could hit that cherry over and over and constantly. I never was that good with that. What I am really good at, and I don't know if I'll be able to continue it on while I'm playing today, is I almost always hit it just right to get the star at the end of the level. And so after 3 levels, I was almost always guaranteed 5 extra men. So Eugene should put his face on the Super Mario Brothers cover. Yeah, like I said, that might be something that has to happen. You can tell me my opinion is wrong. You can tell me my opinion's wrong. Dude, your opinion's not wrong. You do you, man. When retro NES collecting took off and became super popular, a bunch of people rushed out to buy this and got grifted because they thought this was an expensive game. Thankfully, it's still very cheap. Oh, that's good. You would think so. Being like one of the best games on the NES, you would think it would be one of the more expensive games, but how was the SNES version of this game? Mario All-Stars is my preferred way to play this. Same, Luke. I bet Cyrus is going to say just the opposite. I would almost bet he's going to say no, it's not as good. But the controls are so good, the sound's better, the graphics are better. I prefer Super Mario Brothers All-Star as well. So, in fact, game achievement wise, I have almost all of the achievements. In fact, I had all the achievements at one point, and then just like a few months ago, they dropped additional achievements. So I may have to go back in and see if I can get some of those additional achievements. But like, you got sliding and stuff. There's just so many fun little things that they added in this game. Like, I'm sure y'all have probably seen that meme online of the producer, some kind of producer that's walking in to talk to a musician, and it's just like, hey, I need you to write a theme for a game or a movie or whatever it might be. It's just a simple little thing. Don't worry about it. It doesn't have to be great or whatever. Just, get it done and we'll call it a day or whatever. And then it's like them like, okay, yeah, sure. And then they go like insanely hard on it. And so like the theme for DuckTales, the theme for Power Rangers, stuff like that, that's generally where I tend to see that. But on top of that, I could see doing something like that, being like, that's the type of meme that I would do for this game. Would be like, there we go. And would be like, oh yeah, it's Super Mario Bros. 3. Like, it needs to be good, guys, but you don't have to we've got enough money. We're good to go. And then just, of course, boom. My preferred way to play is the NES version running on an emulator on my Dreamcast. What? I don't even know what to say about it that side. This game probably stretched the limits of the NES. Absolutely. Because there is some slowdown on the game in certain places. But it wasn't, like, super bad. It's not Super Castlevania on the Super Nintendo, that scrolling, where the background is scrolling level. It's definitely not that. I also remember as a kid, I always got every single coin on these levels. Like, it wasn't hard. It was just, like, ingrained in me at this point. Same thing for the levels like this on Super Mario Brothers 1. Alright, are we going to do the thing? We're going to do the thing. Let's do the thing. Oh. Hey, I'm running in the background, and yet I got hit by a guy in the foreground. What's with that? Got a whistle. Pick a box. Its contents will help you on your way. Why can't we have that in real life? Like, how awesome would that be, like, to just, like, have stuff and be like, hey, you go to someone's house and you're just like, hey, pick a box. Whatever's in there, it's yours. Like, that'd be great. They should have businesses like that. I've also seen people post things like they're talking with a therapist, and the therapist asks, so when did your anxiety start? Oh, see, it went the wrong way. So when did your anxiety start? And it's always, they show stuff like this. It's like this level. I didn't hit it fast enough. I didn't do that fast enough. Oh well, it's all good. little slow right now. I'm also not going to get all the coins to activate the secret house, so I didn't quite get enough jumping in back there on that one block to get all those coins. Dun, dun. So I won't worry about it. And see, I missed it. I didn't have a long enough runway. So I got one up. I mean, it's fine. This is the best NES of all time, in my opinion. Yeah. Sai is here near the flyover the whole level area, a la Retro Bro. Not sure what you mean, bro. Distracted. I think this game is on literally everyone's top 5 NES titles. If it's not, that person literally insane and probably a communist. Agreed. Born, I don't know what the fuck you just said. I'm kind of with you on that one, Luke. I used to be all right at this one, too. Nope. See? Just missed the middle. Love the music for this. But like the colors are, the color palette is just great. They're bold. I do have a question as to why they went with this color palette for Fire Mario. And yeah, why do they go with this color palette for Fire Mario? And that orange and what, yellow, or is it? I have a hard time with colors, guys. It looks like orange and yellow to me, but I always thought it was like Cheeto Mario. Is it just me? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Got an extra man. Or an extra person, I should say. Is that sexist of me to say it's an extra man and not a... I mean, I am playing with a male character, but... Dun, 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 dun. See, I had enough runway, so I got it. Let's see here. Well, Luke, if I was there, you'd understand. I don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. Yeah, Luke, I should have swallowed. Swallowed is preferred. What he's referring to is a stream when Moo Friend, I'm guessing that's my friend Retro Bro, played thus and flew over an entire level. We made fun of him for years. I'm guessing he used the P-Wing and did that, so Sai is all-knowing. I wouldn't say that, but he knows a lot. I am some knowing. Agreed, Cyrus. Luke's Awakening, I fly over levels, but I do it on World 8. I bank my P-Wings for World 8. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Some of those tank levels, I mean, you can get through them and stuff, but, man, they're just punishing. I fly over levels, but okay. Hey, fellow old school video gamers. Hey, Last Line, what's going on, dude? We're going to play a few more minutes of this. Because like I said at the beginning of the stream, I have a hard out at 4 o'clock today. Because I have a rack of ribs out there on the smoker that I've got to get set up here. Or I've got to change over, I should say. So that's why I actually started about a half hour early today. See, was trying to be a jerk. But everything's big and blocky, like... The pixels are just, it's just, I mean the pixels, the characters are just big and bold and just, it's such a fantastic game. Oh, I got it open. All right, so who else had the Nintendo Power where it listed all of the layouts for this? And so, like, there was a couple that if you unlocked, I want to say it was the top right, bottom right, and maybe the bottom left, you could figure out mainly which one, like, narrow it down pretty quickly. So I always start with those. And then you could go through and get them all. No, okay. Let me go ahead and finish this world real quick, and then we'll call it. Got a little collection going here. Sometimes, if you waited to break the blocks until after you opened up the item, it was you could get an extra item out. And I wonder if there was a formula, a calculation for that. I will say they do change the animals in Mario All-Star. So whatever animal or creature that the king of that land turns into is different here than it is there. Like, Bowser's ammo budget has got to be insane, right? And you literally have flying ships that have, like, weapons and stuff, and tanks and boats and everything else, and you still couldn't take over the Mushroom Kingdom? Like, what's up with that, man? Gotcha, dude. See, I'm Cheeto Mario. Last line showing up like Steve Buscemi with a skateboard. That is the best way to show up. Absolutely, man. I have Mario All-Stars on Wii. I need to look up the value on that one. Oh, thank heavens, I'm back to my old self again. Thank you so much. Here is a letter from our princess. And so, yeah, she's still Princess Toadstool at this point. I think someone pointed that out yesterday in the chat. I don't remember who it was. That at this point, she's still Princess Toadstool, and she doesn't become Peach until... Is it Super Mario World, or is it Mario 64? Anyway. Dun, dun, dun. I also wish trees would dance like this. Like, that would make the world a lot better if, like, all the trees around you, like, were dancing and stuff. Just saying. Because otherwise trees can be kind of boring. I like trees. Don't get me wrong. I love trees. But, you know, they're kind of boring. All right. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next game. Let's see here. And our next game up is... is Tengen Tetris. So... it was released in May of 1989. It is an unlicensed, why can't I say that? Unlicensed version that led to a lawsuit with Nintendo, who countersued and won. And as a result, the game was recalled. So here's a little story about this one. Here's my copy. In good condition. Once again, we've got that bevel on the front. We've got the 2 finger slots as well. And I just realized that the Shinobi manual is like this one as well. Like, I had to literally bend it because it's a lot longer than a normal NES manual is. And it's in color. That's kind of surprising. Yeah. So anyway, when I got this game, it was the weirdest thing. I don't remember if we were out looking for a copy of the game. I don't remember that part. I do remember that it was a game that we were like, oh, I think we should get it. It's a fun game. I bought this game at a Blockbuster Video because after the lawsuit was settled and they started recalling games, some places started putting out the copies they had for sale, and Blockbuster was one of those places. And so I picked up this game. I want to say it was brand new. It may not have been brand new. It may have been used, and that's why we got it. But I got this game at a Blockbuster Video and brought it home, and I was like, well, this is Tetris. Like, there wasn't any question. This is Tetris. I'm playing Tetris. This is what Tetris looks like. That being said, every time I would go to someone else's house, I was the only person I knew that had this copy. Everyone else I knew had the licensed Nintendo version of it. And so I'd watch them play it, and I was just like, why does yours look different than mine? And then I looked at the cartridge, and I'm just like, why does your cartridge look different than mine? Like, as a kid, I didn't understand this. Like, it totally blew my mind. So, let's see here. So the bullet bills that fly past Mario, where do they go? Yeah, no joke. Like, they talk about like when there's a celebration, like, in cities and stuff, whenever it's New Year's or whatever, and people will go outside and shoot guns in the air, and they're like, don't do that. The bullets have to land somewhere. Yeah, like there's just some random, people running around the Mushroom Kingdom, and there's just like cannonballs just flying out from nowhere and stuff. It's a dangerous place. Now that I think about it, I would not want to live in the Mushroom Kingdom. That would be a dangerous place to live. So, Luke's Awakening, she isn't Peach until N64. Okay, fair enough, yeah. Super Mega Graphics, I bet there are a lot of stories of the victim of Bowser's collateral damage. Absolutely. Absolutely. She's introduced as Peach in the letter and the opening of Super Mario 64. Yep. I actually prefer the Nintendo Tetris. Fair enough, dude. The Tengen carts were always so unique. Yeah, they were. The Nintendo Tetris is more polished, but this one does have that two-player mode. And see, that's why I preferred this one, is because you could play two players on this one. This version is worth some bucks, though. I looked it up on eBay, and eBay may not be the best place to look this up, but as of like just a day or so ago, it's going for $90 to $100, which I guess isn't too bad for a Nintendo cart. So let's see here. Oops. See, there's a Nintendo Tetris. And there's my version right there. But it helps if I click the right button. That would be helpful, Eugene. There we go. There's 51 achievements in this game. I can only imagine what the hell the achievements are in this game. 51? What the what? All right, here we go. 1 player, 2 player. Cooperative is where you can actually play together. You want to talk about infuriating as well. Versus the computer. Or with the computer. We're just going to stick to 1 player right now. By the way, if you have Apple TV and you haven't watched the Tetris movie, go watch it. It is really, really good. I mean, they definitely take some liberties, like in any movie that's quote unquote based on a real story. Of course, they've taken some liberties with it, but it was really good, and the soundtrack is fantastic. Yeah, that's what we're going with right there, baby. Why can't I spin this block? That was doing like a double button push there for a second there. That was weird. I was like, I did not... Why was it turning back? That was kind of weird. I'm gonna have to watch it. It's gonna be tricksy on me. See, it's like it's reading a double button push or something. That's weird. Why? It's weird. It's also not registering when I'm pressing down always. This is not going to go well for me. I'm just telling you right now. If something else is causing interference or causing my controller to not read the right way. I mean, it's not as bad as the trouble Cyrus was having earlier today. Like, dude, I felt for you trying to play Popeye, and your Atari 5200 controller was acting wonky on you. See, like it's not wanting to drop like it should. Here, hold on one second. It's funny, I was getting some weird stuff the other day playing wired, so I was like, oh, maybe I should go back to playing wireless. I'm going to go back to wired and see if that helps any. Oh, that's better. Yeah, that's better. Okay. And I know you're probably screaming at your screen right now. What are you doing? There is a method to my madness, I promise. Another puzzle game that I really, really, really like is Super Puzzle Fighter. I love that game. But the problem I have with that game is I have a hard time distinguishing between the green and the yellow. They're so close. To me, they are so close in color that I'm constantly screwing myself up putting gems together that I think are all yellow, and then when they don't all go together, I'm like, what happened? It's because, oh, guess what? That's actually a green one that you put in the middle of that giant yellow block, and vice versa. I wish there was a mod for it that like you could change either green or yellow to a different color, because I would like be 100% for that. What's everyone else doing on their Sunday? I have work tomorrow, and we've got school the rest of this week, and then we're off for an entire week. Oh, baby's first Tetris. Kind of a jerk comment. Anyway, I've got work for another week, and then I'm off for a week, and I won't be doing any streaming that week though, because we're heading to we're heading out of town to my wife's family's house. We're gonna spend Thanksgiving break there, so should be a good time though. I've got to make sure I bring my recall box, my oh, what is that thing called? Raspberry Pi box that I have built with me, because we can play some games on that. That'll be a lot of fun. Do a little digging out here real quick before things start to get too crazy. Yeah, we'll do this. You remember what a killer app this was on the Game Boy? Like, this was the perfect game for the Game Boy. Because you could just pick it up and play it pretty much anywhere. Let's see here. I'm going to have to pause here in a second so I can check the chat. Or as Sai says, check into chat. Alright, I could use a long block here, guys. Anytime now. Anytime now. All right, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, I played a ton. Okay, I've missed some stuff here. Let's scroll back up a little bit. Again, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for service. Let's see here. Off to another order back eventually. Let's see. Yeah, dang, I've missed a lot. I actually prefer Nintendo Tetris. Nintendo Tetris more polished. Yep, this version is worth some. But okay, if it's going for 90, it must have went down in price a bit. It seems like it used to go for more. No, it did. I remember there was a time at least it used to go for at least $150 or $200. So, off to another order to be back eventually. All right. Yeah, it used to be way more expensive. Miss Pac-Man and Gauntlet were the only two Tengen carts I ever remember owning. I had Gauntlet, and I think we sold it for some reason. So, yeah, I played a ton of Gauntlet. The only Gauntlet I ever played that much was Gauntlet Legends on the arcade. Dude, Gauntlet Legends in the arcade, I played so much, and then I had it on the N64. I think I friggin' maxed out multiple characters on that game. I loved Gauntlet Legends. Gauntlet 2 on the NES is my favorite. Yeah, that's a great one, too. I don't think I ever played that one. It has a ton of voice samples. It's cool. Yeah, I'm sure it has a ton as well. Yeah. My thumb is big. Okay. Oh my, indeed. Now I want to play Gauntlet Legends. Yeah. So much fun. GB Tetris is the best. I don't like the music on the version in this version of Tetris. Yeah, the music is not as good. Especially when you start hearing remixes of the Tetris theme, as it really were. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and call quits on this one because I've got 3 more games I want to play. So let's see here. What's the next game up? What are we playing next? What are we gonna play next here? Oh, I found someone online recently I've been following. I don't know if I actually started following because it's his older stuff I've been watching. Grand Pooh Bear was doing some playthroughs. And he had a series of stuff where he was playing and may still be doing like games that no one can beat. And of course, this one came up. Good old TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, released June 25th, 1989. One of the best-selling NES games at 4 million copies. But it is known for being a punishingly hard game. And it is. And I beat it as a kid. It's funny because when I was watching that guy in particular, when he was doing a playthrough and he was trying to beat it, he stumbled on the way that I ended up beating the game. And before I start playing the game, because I can't talk and focus playing that game at the same time, you have to focus playing this game. But in order to beat the game, I played all the way through it. I had to make sure I held on to all 4 turtles. And right before you get to the Technodrome, there's this one area that it's one of those levels that you have to go all the way to the right and up and all the way back to the left. And in the top left-hand corner is, I don't know what, it's the scroll weapon. It looks like a scroll, but whenever you use it, it looks like kind of like the shield slash that goes out. It's super powerful. And I literally sat there for an hour or more going in and out with every single turtle, all 4 turtles, and got them maxed out at 99 of those. And so when I went into the Technodrome, I did not use my normal weapon at all. I just used that all the way through. And I still had a hard time beating it. But I managed to do it. So, yeah, that's how... my advice, if you're going to try to beat Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that's how you go about doing it. So, all right, let's find it over here. It should be close. I was just playing Tetris. There we go. Okay. Switch over to gameplay. Yeah, old TMNT. I used to have a shirt. I don't have it anymore. I love this artwork, by the way. But it was, I had a shirt that was like this, but it was redone, and it was the Ghostbusters. So you had, if I remember correctly, I think Ray was in the place of Raphael, and he's holding a ghost trap. Peter's in this where Leonardo is, and he's holding the proton wand. I want to say Egon is where Donatello is, and he's holding a PKE meter, and Winston is where Mikey is, and instead of holding nunchucks, he's holding Tobin's Spirit Guide or something. But yeah, it was a fantastic shirt, and it was like middle-aged scientist something. I can't remember what it was, but it was freaking awesome. I wish I still had that shirt. But I did again. But once again, I think I got it off of Think Geek, which of course was, I need to do a whole episode where I just rant about Think Geek, how awesome it was. Grab all the stuff that I have that I still own from Think Geek and talk about how great that was. And then just constantly bash the last 15 minutes of it on GameStop for killing it off. Because I will never... you know that line in The Undiscovered Country they keep playing over and over again that gets Kurt convicted? I've never trusted Klingons. I'll never forgive them for the death of my son, something like that. That's how I am with GameStop. I will never trust GameStop. I'll never forgive them for the death of Think Geek. Drives me insane still. There's only 24 achievements for this game. The music's pretty awesome in it, though, at least for the beginning. I brought this up on a show the other day. We were talking about it, and has anyone else seen that theory online as to, and who knows, if they were this deep when they were coming up with these characters, good on them, because I never would have figured it out. I have a feeling it's just one of those things that someone put together after the fact. But someone had a theory online I saw that explained why each turtle has which weapon they have. All right, before we get started. So there's a theory that the reason why the turtles have the weapons they have is because it was to help train them for due to their personality. So, like, for example, Donatello is the genius. He's the one that's, like, into technology. He's the most technical and everything. So he was given the bow because it is literally the simplest weapon there is. It's literally just a stick to help temper him. Mikey has the nunchucks because he's the most scatterbrained, and nunchucks take the most focus in order to master. Raphael is a hothead, and so he has the sai, which is literally not an offensive weapon. I mean, they're drawn to be really long and pointed and sharp, but if the actual sai weapons are a defensive weapon. And then, of course, Leonardo being the leader, he has the only... I mean, if you look at the site, you could consider it a stabbing weapon or a pointing weapon, a bladed weapon. But he has the only bladed weapon, which is the easiest to kill someone with. So he has to have the most focus, which leads into his leadership. Once again, who knows if they even thought about this stuff way back when? I bet that's not the case. But I love that theory. Let's see here. Best Gauntlet Legends. Best Gauntlet Legends at home is the Dreamcast version. I never played it on the Dreamcast. Maybe I should. I bet that's the case. I probably should go look. These freaks, these turtles. How old were you when you finally learned that Shredder was voiced by the uncle in what's it called? Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I was an adult before I realized it was Uncle Phil. Like, I was just like, what? And then, of course, they played a clip, and I'm just like, oh my god, it is. Like, it's not, there's no questioning it. I don't know why I never put two and two together, though. Freak, come back here. I'm not finished with you. Damn! Oh yeah, never forget that in the theater. In fact, I was talking about that. Like, Sai and I were talking about that in the beginning of one of my shows. I keep thinking about... Like, I have certain memories that, like, I think things were this way, but I'm not 100% sure. And I had this memory of waiting in front of the little movie theater. It's not even there anymore. The little movie theater with my brother and my mom and my best friend Lewis. And we were waiting to watch this movie. And we were talking about how awesome Super Mario Bros. 3 were. And so we looked it up. And yes, that is possible. They came out the same year, about the same time. That's entirely possible that I have that memory. But yeah, because, human brains are weird, man. You going to LaGuardia, right? A Jose Canseco bat. Tell me you didn't pay money for this. I know I've shown the boys that movie. I know I have. Like, here's the funny thing. So you start this game off, and you've got all four turtles. You've got Master Splinter down there. Of course, they don't quite look like they do in the cartoon. But, I mean, that stuff doesn't necessarily always look that way, especially on the Nintendo. The first enemies you're fighting are Mousers. You're like, dude, this is going to be awesome. And, like, okay, there's a strange bug thing up here. All right, sure, why not? That must be a Foot Clan. All right. Things are going pretty good. Yeah, this game's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be just like the cartoon. It's gonna be great. And then you keep going, and you're just like, wait, what? Didn't mean to throw that. Don't want to jump up there yet to try to save her. Of course, everyone tries to jump up there to save April, and you just get hit again. It's like, really, what? And then then you get to this place and you're just like, okay, who are these guys? Like, I don't remember there being a chainsaw guy in the cartoon. Like, maybe that's in a future episode. Sometimes you tell yourself something as a kid and you're just like trying to convince yourself. Jerk. I have to change turtles here in a second. I think there was a whole pizza over there, so I'll take this one piece for Donnie. Yeah, we'll switch back to Leo. It's all about management in this game. You got to manage who's getting what. But let's be honest. Everyone has a favorite turtle. And I think that was the biggest problem with this game, is the fact that, number one, it used a bunch of characters that we'd never seen in the cartoon. But number two, like I was saying, let's be honest. Everyone has a favorite turtle, but you only need Donatello. Very truly. His reach is so far. Why would you not use Donatello? And I think that was a problem that a lot of people had, because a lot of people were like, dude, my favorite Ninja Turtle is maybe if they're Raphael, or maybe they're Mikey. And they're kind of nerfed in this game. See, I'm getting low on Donnie. I gotta change to someone else because I can't stand to listen to that. Yeah, y'all remember Fire Guy, don't you? Everybody remembers Fire Guy and... Oh, son of a bitch and Bob. Got an extra turtle. Oh no, it's not an extra turtle, it's the invulnerability. And I never understood this in these games. Why? Can I not go anywhere? Is this literally just like a no-end place? Did I literally just burn all of that energy and stuff? Uh-oh. I lost Leo. I guess that one didn't go anywhere. So that was just like literally a total waste of time. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to play much more of this anyway. So, I know everyone has their own opinions about stuff, and we have talked about on these chats and in different shows, and I've seen it in other people's chats as well. Like, the nunchuck should be, like, kicking ass. But it seems like they're so much weaker than Donatello. Like, they just nerfed some of the turtles. But anyway, well, I will say, and it's definitely one of his older videos, I have to agree with 110% with Angry Video Game Nerd about this game. There's that one level where you have to go, like there's a small gap on the second level part. And it doesn't look like in any way, shape, or form that you shouldn't have to jump, that you just walk across it. But seeing I don't, okay, I've got Donnie still. Well, I'm screwed. All right, we're gonna play it a little bit more. Like, where was this thing the first time through? Switch to Raph. What was I saying? I got totally sidetracked. Oh, that one part in that one level was so infuriating. And I know I did the exact same thing he did in that game. I didn't realize that all you have to do is just keep walking and you will literally jump over that little section. And I played and played and played and could not get it, and it was so ridiculous. I think Rocksteady's going to have us here, guys. I don't even think I'm going to get to Rocksteady, to be honest with you. Yep. Oh, well. No big loss. Yeah. Like I said, it's... for what it is, it's an okay game. I mean, I still have a lot of nostalgia for it, but it's definitely not the game that we wanted. Especially if you had gone to the arcade, doing that, if you were like such a big Turtles fan and you went to the arcade and played that game and then you went home and this is what you had to play. Yeah, not a good situation. which is why when this came out, this was the junk right here, man. So yeah, TMNT 2, the arcade game, released December of 1990, has exclusive content like new levels and bosses from the arcade. I have still got the old cartridge here, as we're showing off, and I have the manual. Let's see here. Got our manual going on here. And what's funny is it says right there on the box, Cowabunga, coupon for a free personal pan pizza at Pizza Hut inside. And so this one is black and white. Talks about all the turtles, the controls. It shows us our levels. Shows us our enemies. And yes, I still have a coupon for a personal pan pizza. Now, would I ever cut this up and try to use this? No, I would not. But it would be kind of funny to go in there one time and be like, hey, can I still redeem this? And I almost guarantee you, if you talk to the manager and they're of our age, the dude would be like, oh my God, yes, I will give you a free pan pizza if you will give me that. But yeah, I don't think I could. Dine in or carry out. I don't know. He may not do it though. It says it expired December 31st, 1991. So I have a feeling this coupon might have expired. That's probably not good there anymore. So, but I think it would be funny. I think it would be funny to walk in with that. So, let's see here. Let's see. I thought okay. I thought voice shredder. Cricket. You got to know what a crumpet is to understand cricket. I voiced Shredder in the original Hong Kong silent movie. Nice. Understand. LOL. I did the voice of Splinter as a rat. Premutation, I mean. These are the wizards and the warriors. If you didn't recognize them, it's because you're just not a real fan. Dude, no, don't even say that. Fake Turtles fan, just exposed. Fire Guy makes a reappearance in Castlevania 4 in the caverns. Yeah, no joke. Makes sense. This was Konami. With Donnie, you can stay up high and attack down and kill Rocksteady and not take damage. Yeah, that's what the problem is. I died with Donnie right there. I should have jumped up there first with someone else with full health, then switched to Donnie, and then just, beat him with a stick. Literally. And so anyway, yeah, so this included game ads and coupons for Pizza Hut. So here's another quick funny story about this. What time is it, by the way? Okay, so I got time. And so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Does anyone remember, it was an EGM. It was EGM. Does anyone remember when EGM started slipping in what's April Fool's Day things into the magazine and didn't tell anyone at first? I cannot tell you how many times we tried to open up Shenlong in Street Fighter in the arcade. We just took it down. We just figured it was like, oh, so we're just not doing it right. We missed something. We're not doing it right. And we're not able to get Shenlong to show up. And of course, there was always those bastard kids at your school. Dude, I got him unlocked. He's awesome. It's like, okay, then it's a thing. It's got to be a thing. Yeah. But the one I remember for this one was the April Fool's joke that if you put in, I want to say it was the Konami code at the beginning of this game, you could unlock Simon Belmont and play with Simon Belmont. And it took me a while to figure out, oh, this isn't a thing. Like, yeah, those April Fool's Day things were great. Yeah. I was genuinely pissed when I found out it was a prank. Yeah, no joke. Speaking of April Fools, we're going back to a hobby horse I just jumped off of. Does anyone remember Think Geek and all their April Fool's Day items they used to bring out? That was the one good thing about April Fool's Day on the internet. And now the internet just sucks on April Fool's Day. Like I couldn't wait to go to Think Geek and see what cool cool fake item they had come up with. And then when they started going back and actually making some of the items, that was mind-blowing. Like they came out, some of it was just completely impossible, like an antimatter gun or something like that. But when they're like, oh, hey, we made a sleeping bag that looks like a tauntaun, so you can curl up like Luke Skywalker. They ended up like a year or so later going back and actually making that a thing. I'm just like, it was, God, Think Geek was so good. All right, let's play some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game on the NES. Hey, Trichome. Yeah, dude, every day. I miss it almost every day. The only issue with this game, of course, they're dealing with hardware limitations, is you can only play up to 2 players. And of course, that was so much fun in the arcade to play all 4 turtles. All 4 turtles you were playing with. So good. We're going to go with my boy Donnie. Fire! Hang on, April. Dun, 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 dun. And of course, you can only have like what? Three. That's it may only have been 2. Was it only 2 enemies? Dang, that guy kicked the crap out of me. You can only have 2 enemies on the screen at a time if you're playing 2 players, for a total of 4 sprites, I believe. All right, so quick question: which is the better / your favorite game in the arcade? Was it TMNT, the OG, or was it Turtles in Time? I prefer Turtles in Time just because of the ability to throw the enemies and like grab them and like slam them back and forth. God, that was such an awesome game mechanic. And besides being only 2 players as well on the Super Nintendo, Turtles in Time is a fantastic port on the Super Nintendo. Like I said, if they could have just unlocked, 4 players on it, it would have been damn near perfect for an arcade, for a home console version. Jerk. But see, like this is what we wanted. The turtles look like the turtles look like the turtles. They've got the right colors and stuff. They've got the right weapons. We're actually fighting like that. Looks like a foot soldier from the cartoon. Because to be honest with you, what we were fighting in the other game just a few minutes ago that I said was a Foot Clan soldier. I mean, it was a ninja. How is there a Pizza Hut in this building? Like this high up. I get it, like maybe if it's like down near the bottom, but maybe I did just start. Maybe I'm at the bottom of the building. I don't know. No, I'm not. I can't be. I can't be at the bottom of the at the bottom of the building because it literally showed all 4 guys like jumping in the top of the building just a second ago. I call shenanigans. I don't know about that. Doing a little Zelda 2 jump downward stab on me here. So another quick question. I'll have to pause here in a second to see what the answer is in the chat. Where do we come down? Where does everyone come down on the Ninja Turtle, the new Ninja Turtle movies, the Is there a name for the Michael Bay version? Because I know we call the Michael Bay version of Transformer Bayformers. Is there a Michael Bay version word for the Ninja Turtles? Because I've never seen those movies. Honestly, I had kind of high hopes. I was like, well, maybe he'll do a better job with the Turtles than he did with Transformers. And then it was like, oh, and we're gonna get April, what's her face, or Megan Fox is April O'Neil, and I was just like, never mind, I'm done. Like, let's be honest, she's not a good actress, guys. And I understand, yes, people are not necessarily watching her for her acting. We're gonna see if we survive this or not. But like Rocksteady, it looks like Rocksteady. Dang. He straight like Street Fighter kicked me on that one. Wish I could use my super attack, but you know, the fact that it takes away from your health. I always hated that. Now granted, it's so powerful if it didn't. Or am I going to start at the beginning of the level? Yep. All right. Never mind on that. Because I do want to get to my last game. And like I said, I do have a hard out here in about 20 minutes. So. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Let's check chat. See what chat's saying here. I'm just thinking. There was like a Voltron cat tree. Trichome. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, the Voltron cat tree. Dude, I've got so much stuff from ThinkGeek. I have, unfortunately it's not working. I need to dig into it and see why it's not working, but I have a cookie jar that's shaped like the TARDIS, and it doesn't work anymore, but when you would open the lid and close it, the light on the top, it would play a sound, it would do the the TARDIS sound. It's freaking awesome. I need to get that working again. My apron, I don't wear my apron when I cook very often because it's kind of hot. But I have an apron that looks like a tactical vest, and it was literally called the tactical apron. And like instead of like chief or whatever, it actually says chef on the back and everything. It's fantastic. Let me think what else. I still eat, whenever I take a utensil to work, I still take my titanium spork that I got from ThinkGeek. Let me think. What else do I still have? I have a doormat at my work. Man, it's getting worn out. But I have a doormat at my work that says there's no place like 127.0.01. And if you don't know that one, I don't know what to say, man. But yeah, I have a lot of stuff that I got from ThinkGeek. And there was so much stuff I could, like that was the place that if there was any store anywhere that if I could have worn like a gift card, and just be like, here's like, $500 gift card, I would still have a hard time narrowing down what it is I would buy. God, I love that place. Let's see here. The live action Zelda movie trailer was the greatest April Fool's Day jokes I ever saw. IGN fooled us big time with it. Yeah, no joke. 12-year-old me, it's just like the arcade. 48-year-old me, it's just like the arcade. Hyperstone Heist was better. I think I've played Hyperstone Heist, but I don't remember. So, yep, Genesis does. They're okay. I never saw any of the modern Ninja Turtle stuff. I like the old stuff. That was a good enough for me. Tyler Perry as Baxter Stockman was where I checked out. Yeah, not a Tyler Perry fan. I have a lot of thoughts on his movies. The best thing I can say about his movies are they're not for me. They weren't made for me. I bought titanium sporks because I saw those there. Yes, titanium sporks for the win, dude. I think my brother has a titanium spork as well. So Anyway, yeah, fantastic. But yeah, so good old thinking. Yeah, I have not seen any of the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies, at least the Michael Bay versions. Now, the animated ones, that animated one they came out with years and years ago, like it was like the turtles were like kind of separated and getting back together, and like there's this huge fight between Raph and Leo. Dude, that movie is fantastic. And actually, this newest one that just came out that I know a lot of people kind of got a lot of guff about, that actually kind of went back to their OG look and stuff like that. That one was pretty good too. I actually enjoyed it. The one that Seth Rogen did. Yeah, I actually like that one. So Tyler Perry is one of those people who think they're funnier than they actually are. I will go with that. I will not disagree with that at all. Oh, fine. I'll just say what it is. I don't like his movies because his movies they're like the same thing. Like if I told you, that Tyler Perry movie where the woman, thinks she's doing pretty good, and then like she finds out that her husband / boyfriend is cheating on her and is treating her like shit, and so she has to like go home and start over, and Medea's there, and of course Medea has to drop some knowledge on her or whatever, and she builds herself back up and shows that she's actually a tough, she's a strong black woman. You know that one? You mean every Tyler Perry movie? Like, I get it. Like, if that's your jam, my wife loves those movies. It's just the same thing over and over again to me. It's like, it's always, there's one guy that's just like the worst human being ever. And then there's always the one the one guy that's like down on his luck and he's got a heart of gold and stuff. It is very, very cliche in my opinion. But once again, it's not for me. So if you like those movies, you know what? You do you. So, all right. The last game we're going to play is Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, released December 1st, 1988, introduced RPG mechanics, side-scrolling combat, and limited lives. The only Zelda game without The Legend of Zelda in the title, which is weird and also drives me insane because if you look in RetroArch, let's go ahead and move on over here real quick to the gameplay. Where would we look for The Legend of Zelda 2? Would we look for it under the... Well, it depends on how you set it up. I don't have it set up where the, is there. It puts it to the end. So I guess I would be looking for Legend. Nope. It's literally down here because it is called Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. It drives me insane. And so, so I was watching this guy Pooh Bear, play through this game because he had the same opinion of it that I did. He's like, I had this game as a kid and I thought it sucked. And I did too as a kid, but not for the exact same reason. The reason why I thought this game sucked growing up is because when you die, you almost always start back at the initial castle. And I say almost. So I would play this game. I would grind on this game. Like, this is the first game I remember grinding to get beefed up so that I could actually keep playing the game. Like, I remember that hardcore. And so I was like, I'm going to beat this game. I've had this game for years. I'm going to beat this game. And so I was grinding. I found a really good place to grind. I had my, everything maxed out. I was good to go. And then you get to that last castle. I had a save game. You get to that last castle and you try your best to get through it and you die. And I was just like, I'm done. I can't do this. And so I hit the power button, put my controller away, and I called it a day. And I never beat this game for years. Let's see. I knew Yin Hong. For years, but I really didn't start getting close to him until my senior year. Yin Hong Tran was a buddy of mine. He was our valedictorian. And he came over to my house one day, and I graduated in 96. I'm pretty sure I didn't beat this game until the spring of 96. At the earliest, maybe the fall of 95. And so when did I say this game came out? 88. So we're talking about I had this game, and I'm pretty sure I got this game pretty quick. I don't know if I got it for Christmas, but I know I got this game pretty quick after it came out. So I had this game for at least 5 or 6 years, maybe 7 years before I ever beat it. And so he comes over, we're talking about it, and he's going through my games, and he's just like, he's like, oh yeah, I love this game. And I'm just like, yeah, I just never have beaten it. I mean, I kind of like the gameplay, but I've just never beaten it. He's like, why did you never beat it? I was like, I can't beat it, dude. It's too hard. And he's like, well, here, I can show you real quick. And I'm like, okay, well, cool. So he pulls up my game save. He's like, dude, you've got everything. I'm like, yeah. I said, I was grinding. I was like trying to get maxed out and everything. He's like, oh man, this is going to be easy. So he pulls up the game, and you walk over the overmap, and he gets to the last level, and he goes through, and he dies. And I'm just like, see? And when he hits continue, all of these years, I didn't realize the last castle is the only place in the entire game that when you hit continue, you start off at the beginning of the castle instead of all the way back at castle 1. And my jaw was just dropped. I was just like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So then he proceeded to beat the game. And I was like, dude, that was awesome. Thanks for showing me that. We did some other stuff, told him have a good night. He went off. I literally ran back to my bedroom, fired up the Nintendo, and did the exact same thing he did, and literally beat the game myself that night. I was shook. I was so shook because, like I said, every single other place in the game, when you die, you start back at that first castle, except for the last one. And there's no indication at all that that's what's going to happen, unless you just happen to hit it. Unless you just decide, oh, this is what I'm doing. So that's my story with Zelda 2. Oh my God, I beat Zelda 2 on a 13-inch black and white TV in the 5th grade. Love this game. Obviously, you hit continue and kept going, dude. This game made me lose interest in Zelda until the Super Nintendo version came out. I get that. I mean, it's definitely different. The Legend of Zenith. Zelda 2 is far superior to Zelda 1. I don't know if I would say that, Luke. But yeah. It's a good game. I like it. It definitely changes things. And it's definitely in that trilogy of games that were really, really good on the Nintendo, where the first one came out and were really, really good. And the second one changed everything up. And some people like it and some people didn't. This, Super Mario Brothers, Castlevania, those are all games where the second one in the series is so much different than the first one that it just throws some people off. And some people don't like it, some people do. But anyway, I was watching this guy, Pooh Bear. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button, I guess. Yeah, hold on. How do I go back? There we go. Okay. Anyway, I was watching this guy, Pooh Bear, play this game. And he's like, you know what? This game is actually pretty fun. I kind of like this game. He's like, young me was wrong. This is actually a pretty good game. And so I was watching that, and then of course, after watching that, YouTube was like, "Oh, you like watching people play The Legend of Zelda or Zelda 2? Here's something else you might enjoy." And so it's if y'all have seen this thing where people have done it's a full screen version. It's like a widescreen version of this game. And it almost looks like the sprites are smaller than they are now. And maybe they're not. Maybe it's just because having it full screen just looks so much larger. But I'm like, ooh, I may have to try to play that. Hello. 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 Okay. Return the crystal to the palace. All right, cool. I'll get it done, lady. Oh, what's up, dude? The speech needs to go faster. If all else fails, use fire. Yeah, that sounds good. All right, I'm killing spiders, so sure, why not? Please let me help you. Come inside. All right. I can restore your health, your life. All right, guys. What's going on? I mean, I know what's going on. I'm pretty sure I know what's going on. Y'all know what's going on, right? Only the hammer can destroy a roadblock. Thanks for that, dude. Nope, don't want to talk to you anymore. I want to talk to this hot chick. Sorry, I know nothing. Okay. I mean, some people are into that. Hello, young fellow. What's up, little boy? Get candle in Parappa Palace. Go west. And see, like, I know I need to go in here. But did it count for the encounter? See, no, it didn't. Ah, now I lost. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and beef up our life. Plus, it refilled my health, so that's good. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, we don't have a candle, so we don't really need to go in there yet. Dun, 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 dun. I bet you can. No, I didn't mean to throw a knife at the old lady. Stop and rest here. Okay, and so I'm assuming something else is happening here. I'm assuming like she's giving me a Werther's original, because that would restore your magic, right? Was it Werther's original? Like that's how you restore magic. I am error. That's a that's an unfortunate name, dude. Find magic in the cave south of the castle. Sure he did. Not even going to try to pronounce that name. Use keys in palaces. They are found in. Okay, yep, that makes sense. Do not go south without a candle. Yep, figured that out. This is also one of those games that when I was a kid, it blew my mind that the townspeople would lie to you like they do in Castlevania 2. So I can't go there. I can't go there. Can I go over here? Sure, I'll take a ferry. Can I go in here? Nope, don't have a candle yet. All right, so I gotta find out where the candle is. Here, if I was really playing this, I'd definitely be killing more bad guys. All right, so I'm guessing this is where I gotta go to get a candle. Nope, this is where I started off. Never mind. Is this where I go to get a candle? May just have to go into a cave without. We need to check the chat. May just have to go into a candle and be like, screw it. I'm just gonna have to watch for the bad guys. Yep. All right, I guess I'm gonna start with this cave up here. Okay, we just gotta watch. Yeah, this is not gonna go well. Yeah, like that. That's exactly what I'm not looking forward to. No bueno. All right, let's see here. What we got going on in chat here? There are aspects it has better, but I do like the first game more. I will die on this hill. Zelda 2 is way better than the first. Dude, you die on that hill, man. It is good until you get to the second continent when the base enemies are too much of a chore to fight. Yeah, they do. Like I said, you got to grind in this thing. There's just no way around it. Last line, you just have to get good out. Lol true. Love how Link gets healed by some in a random woman's house. See, that's exactly what it is. And gets magic by getting it from... No, I told you, where there's originals. That's how he's getting magic. We've all decided this. Everyone knows what happens when those women take Link into their homes and heals them. Exactly. Last night, LOL, we were thinking the same thing. Yep. Time's up. Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm getting close to time. All right, so, yep, I guess I'm going to call it for the day. Wish I could play more. I do enjoy this game, and I probably will end up doing a longer stream at some point where I'm going to go back and play it. So, but yeah, thanks for joining me, everyone. I've enjoyed this. These are the last. Well, I say that I've got 2 more Nintendo games that I specifically remember getting. Well, one more Nintendo game I remember specifically getting at Christmas time. And I'm going to save that story for December because I've decided in December I'm going to go through and talk about what games I got and when and stuff like that. So I'm going to save that last game for then. But yeah, these are all of the Nintendo games that I still currently own. I know 100% I've had. I've talked about it with Sai. I'm pretty sure I own some more games, and I don't know if I just sold them at some point or surely I didn't lose them. He thinks my brother may have them. Who knows? I guess I need to ask him. But anyway, this has been a lot of fun going back and playing these old games. But before I punch out here real quick, let's go through and thank everyone who was in the chat because there was quite a few of you. Super Mega Graphics 64, my best friend and my worst enemy, Luke's Awakening. Last night, Luke, stick by your guns, man. If you don't like a game or like a game better, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You do you, man. Last line, good seeing you, man. I always enjoy watching your videos. Let's see here. I know my boy jumped in right at the beginning at some point. Born Distracted, thanks for always showing up, man. I do appreciate you. Trichome, good seeing you, man. Yeah, like it's always fun seeing you guys. That is honestly what makes this so fun. Going back and playing these old games is because it is like sitting around with a group of friends and, chatting about old times and talking about old games and stuff and, just having fun. So, I guess with that said, you can find me online at Optimus Gene, on Instagram. I mean, I do post on Facebook, but it's just kind of there. It is what it is. But yeah, and then of course, check out all of our stuff. But I now have a prepared way of going through all that information. So I was telling Sai one time, I was just like, man, I feels like I keep going through the same stuff over and over again at the end of the show. He's like, maybe you should go and pre-record it. So that's what I did. So here we go, guys. Thanks again for joining me, and y'all have a good rest of your day. Make sure to check out epicallygeeky.com, where you can find all of the shows that we do, including the Epically Geeky Show, Marginally Geeky Book Club, Creatively Geeky, Sustainably Geeky, EG Live, and EG Gaming. But before you do, make sure to like and subscribe here on YouTube. And if you're a person with a human-style body, why not head over to our TeePublic store and grab a t-shirt, hat, shorts, or whatever else they sell to cover that body. You can find the link in the show notes. And thanks for supporting us here at Epically Geeky. See you next time.